Hello, hello, we're Geeks Assembled, and today me and
Hello.
Sue are sitting down to discuss a 2023 movie, a Nicolas Cage movie. We've done one of his early on in the year or so. Um, this one is his take on iconic legend of the silver screen and
Mhm,
publications.
mhm,
He's playing Dracula in this.
mhm,
The movie's called Renfield. And if people remember, Renfield was his manservant, his familiar, who used to
mhm,
help Dracula, and
mhm,
played by Nicholas Hoult in this movie, great British
mhm,
actor. Um, and it's their take. Dracula is in America trying to survive, you know, and Renfield is out there collecting the bodies for him. But Renfield has this moment of enlightenment, shall we say, and wants something better. So he, so he
It,
goes so he goes to a self-help group.
it's a
Um,
long process, Lee.
it's a long process. So yeah, so that's the gist of it.
Mhm.
Susan, your opening thoughts then on Renfield.
All right. Well, Nicolas Cage often is just Nicolas Cage. He's just
Uh-huh.
his he does himself. But you know, you invite if you're working with Dracula as a character, you won't be able to keep yourself in it very much.
Yeah.
The character itself is big enough. I mean, wide enough. I mean, there's enough difference difference that you're adding to your own stuff to that he submerged in it a lot. And that was why I wanted to review this because, well, first of all, because I've been reading a lot of books about people with autism and people who are like going through these processes with disability, and in Renfield's case, he's a codependent, and he's a codependent in a relationship with an ultra narcissist.
Hmm.
And we in this country have been, surrounded in one of the political realms. The parties is surrounded by a malignant ultra narcissist. Yeah, I don't know who you're talking about either, but and I mean, the story, the deliverance from that takes a lot. I mean, it's just amazing, and I think that this really kind of shows. It kind of this is a good movie for a couple of reasons. First of all, the Dracula, actually, Nicolas Cage kind of vanishes into him to a large
Hmm.
extent, which is surprising because it doesn't always happen that way. And second of all, because it's a really good cast. And Nicholas Hoult is so good. He's so good as Redfield. He's so good as like the the codependent character of Renfield, but also the familiar character of Renfield. Like there's like three or four characters that he's playing in this, and he has to sort of switch between them. Kind of what you say earlier. You don't see the join,
Hmm.
and you don't see the join between these characters of Renfield, and I think that that's just really a wonderful portrayal. And Aquafina's in it, and Aquafina's in it as like a cop with like a really dark past, needs a lot of And
badass attitude.
Aquafina, yeah, and Aquafina is really great, and I like her a lot. And so, um, I really enjoyed this portrayal, and I love vampires. And this one was awesome, and the support group was awesome, and the I just I like it a lot, and of course Nicholas Holt gets all these praise because he's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And so back over to you, Lee.
Right.
Opening or whatever.
Yeah. You see, You see, Nicolas Cage can be like Marmite. You can love him or you can hate him. You know. Like that. And I like his in his later life, like now, he's picking roles what are so out there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm
Like
liking it.
Willie's
Uh,
playground or
yeah, Willy's Wonderland. Um,
Willie's Wonderland. Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
he's picking these parts what are so out there. I'm loving them because
Mm-hmm.
it's amazing. For the past 8 years, the movies he's done are so strange and it's sort of giving him chance to expand his acting instead of being just a one-dimensional actor.
That's it.
And this portrayal of Dracula in this is amazing. Um, as you say, so narcissistic, so full of himself. And then you've got, say, Nicholas Hoult as Renfield. Now, he's been accused in the past in movies, of playing parts the way Hugh Grant would play them. And I thought, nah. But then
Oh,
seeing this movie, he's
huh.
he is absolutely doing Hugh Grant in his little quiet moments, talking and all like this in the self help group and all that. You can see the Hugh Grant sort of
Oh,
character. Oh, the way he's talking,
really?
the way he's
Huh.
pacing his speech. Um, and I think that comes down to Hugh Grant teaching him acting when he was a young lad in the movie About a Boy, because that was one of his first
Oh.
movies when he was a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
He started getting alongside Hugh Grant, and I think he's had a lasting effect on him. Um, I could see it coming through his mannerisms, the way he was looking, and the way he was talking. I'm thinking, yeah,
Huh.
it's sort of Hugh Grant-esque. So,
I'll have
but
to watch it again. I'll have
yeah, now,
to look
now I've
for
said
that.
now I've said that, you watch the moments where he's so subtle, and you think, yeah, it's sort of playing a Hugh Grant type of character. Where you like feel sorry for him, and uh, but and I love the idea. I mean, we know in the past, in the books and in the movies in the past, Renfield was insane and
Uh-huh.
used to just eat bugs. But I like the idea that the bugs give him superpowers.
Mhm.
I mean, that's a new one on me. Oh
Yep.
wow,
Me too.
can he kick ass when he's had a bug?
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, it's not a complicated story. It's, like gangland bosses, and Dracula wants to dominate the world. What's better way to start than getting into with the gangs? Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, it's gory. There is gore in
Mhm.
it. There's dismembered limbs and
And heads.
and things like that. Yeah, but yeah, I enjoyed it. It's a different take on. I did like uh, the way they included the original clips from the Universal movie from the 1930s. That, in the black and white, they'll put Nicholas Hoult and Nicolas Cage in the clips. You know,
Hmm.
I am Dracula and all like that at the beginning of the movie and all this lot.
Hmm.
So I did
Agreed.
like that. A little nod to the past. So, but yeah, I enjoyed it. Um, anything what stands out for you then, Susan?
Well, yeah, Aquafina and her sister, and
Mhm.
the character Rebecca and her sister Kate. Um, you know, the they're trying to get back at the Lobos for killing their dad, and their
Mhm.
dad was a good cop, and they had all this animosity, and the one that Dracula befriends Mrs. Lobos. Mrs. Lobo? What is her name? Bella Francesca,
Yeah.
played by Shore Agadishu. She she was um she was great. I mean, they were brutal. That was a brutal gang, and it was really cool. Like Ben Schwartz playing the
Teddy fucking
young,
Lobo.
yeah, Teddy fucking Lobo, and that was cool. And then there was the you know how Rebecca and Renfield almost had like a romantic sort of feel for a sec. And
Yeah.
then he's like, "No, I'm way too old for you." And she's like, she did some research and she found out just how old he was. And then she also found out just how many people had died by his hand. And she was like, "This guy, Renfield, he could be one of the longest acting serial killers on the earth." And she was like, she thought she'd won the lottery there, but then
Uh-huh.
she ended up fighting with him on his side against the Lobos and Dracula, which was fun because of you know he just there were unexpected compatriots. That was surprising, and the surprise was that they were able to get through all of that, the legal stuff.
And also
And
as well, it looked like and seemed like that the full police force was on the Lobo payroll.
it kind of did. It
Mm.
did seem like they were all crooked. Yeah, yeah.
Um,
There was that, and that
not
was why her dad was probably killed.
Yeah, I mean, only one good cop in the precinct.
Oh man, it's like Boston in the '70s with Whitey Bulger. I don't
Mm.
know. I'm just saying. I don't know. I don't really know exactly all that I'm talking about there, but I've been looking at that. But yeah, God, yuck. Anyway, and Aquafina, she's just been doing so many cool things. And now I'm going to look at this Nicholas Hoult performance as Hugh Grant. I've never even heard of that, but that's pretty that's that's pretty that'll be fun to look for.
I mean, also as well, he knows how to handle a fork. Oh, with one fork, he downs
One
the food.
fork.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite
Yeah,
it's pretty gory and violent. Um,
it
severed
is.
limbs, severed limbs used as weapons. Um,
And as piercing devices.
oh yeah, pierced him to the door with the arm. Yeah,
Oh my
but
gosh.
yeah, it's it's a fun movie, but gory, and
Uh-huh.
for me, Nicolas Cage I mean, he's not in it much. He doesn't.
No,
He doesn't take over doesn't steal the screen from everybody else. But when he does come onto the screen, you're there watching because his performance is
it's
so. I don't know.
dynamic.
It's a very, very different type. Yeah, very. I don't think we've ever seen a Dracula like this.
Right.
Is I mean, the clothes he's wearing, the snazzy, sparkly suit, and
Yeah.
yeah, but he's playing Renfield, he's playing the Lobos. He knows
Uh-huh.
what he's doing,
Hmm.
but he gets his
Hmm.
comeuppance in the end. Um,
Uh-huh.
then dealt a heavy blow by several things and diced up and put into cement, and
It's just cement and buried and cut up. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
that looked like fun.
Yeah. And it was good, like that whole scene where suddenly you thought that Rebecca had switched sides.
Yeah,
And then she hits the window open and he catches fire and then shakes into a million bats, and then
I mean,
the bats are flying around kind of on fire.
that was the great effect where he just burst into bats. I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen in films before where he turns into a bat,
Uh-huh.
but this is just like a swarm of bats.
Uh-huh.
Amazing.
It was. And then the smoke when he would enter, there was just some super cool effects. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a shame really because this was a big box office flop.
Oh, really?
It cost 65 million, the
Yeah,
budget, and it
that's
only made
decent.
26.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
That's nothing. Oh my gosh, they didn't even get a third back.
Yeah.
Oh, Lee, that's horrible.
It is, yeah. I, see, I just don't understand why these great pictures don't do well.
I don't
It,
know either. Maybe it's because people don't go to the theater too much.
I
That's a
think
problem.
it's all down to streaming.
That's a problem now.
It's like the internet has destroyed shopping. Going out to the shops because shops are closing down because of shopping online,
Hmm.
and also streaming online of movies and TV is destroying
Hmm.
theatre.
Hmm.
But
So now we can blame Amazon for everything.
yeah, but it's
I mean, if we didn't, I didn't find this movie on I didn't find this movie on Amazon. I found this on the NBC Peacock
I
because it
found it.
is Universal. I know you own it. I knew it, because you're so cool. Yeah, it's got cool. Yeah,
With over 50 minutes of bonus extras.
nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
It's
I'm
just
gonna I'm gonna have to find it then because I didn't realize it didn't do very well.
it didn't.
I'll,
It's a shame,
I'll buy
really.
a copy.
It's a shame. I mean, it's mostly doing well. It's mostly good. This is one what will mostly get a cult following in about 5 years' time. People will say, "Wow,
Oh,
have you seen that movie? It's amazing." Like all the
yeah,
good movies do. Yeah.
yeah.
Would you rather have a big box office hit or a cult movie?
I don't know, but like you can take a box office hit and make it a cult movie.
Yeah.
I mean, there that would be like the best thing for the artists.
Yeah. I mean, but I think more people talk about cult movies than they do box office hits because you can have a box office hit.
Online, you're very right.
You can have a box office hit, but within 2 years, maybe people aren't talking about it anymore. But people are talking about cult movies.
Yep, you nailed it.
I have in the coffin, nailed it. The coffin. Oh dear. Anything else you want to say about Renfield?
Yeah, like I liked that when what's his name? Teddy fucking Lobo was turned into kind of Dracula's familiar, and that centipede like crawled up and around his face and went up his nose. I thought that was just hilarious.
I liked Renfield's kick at him in the stomach, out the mouth and out the ass.
Yeah,
wow.
That was.
Who thought that?
They've
been watching Mortal Kombat video games there.
Because the brown and the red, the separation.
I did like also as well, going back to the beginning of it, I did like the characters in the self-help group just sat around in a circle talking about their problems.
And that one who kept getting interrupted by Renfield. She's like, "Oh, fine, I'm never gonna get to speak my bit."
I mean that. I mean, they all thought he was in a violent, abusive domestic relationship, which he was sort of. When Dracula turns up, and of course you've got to invite a vampire over your threshold. Come on in.
Oh, and Renfield realizing that his fucking welcome mat had destroyed the sanctity of the walls. Oh my god.
Oh fuck.
Oh god. Oh god.
But yeah, I mean that scene with the self group and Dracula just going wild. It was amazing. Yeah, it's an amazing movie, but it's a shame.
And then the fact that they were all brought back to life by a little of his blood.
Well, Dracula blood. So that are they vampires or?
I don't know.
Are they like Renfield the undead?
I don't know.
Bugs.
But will they need coffee anymore? I mean, that's my question. Will there be someone who needs to make them coffee in their group? I don't know. Yeah, you gotta have a coffee maker. You know, that's what these groups are for. You get together, you have a coffee, and you talk about stuff. Yeah. And every time someone says something really emotionally hard for you, you take your napkin, you dab your eyes, and you drink your coffee. That's how you do it. That's how you prevent yourself from hyperventilating in a support group.
Right.
You take your tissue, you dab your eyes, and you drink your warm beverage, and you try to let that go in there and make you feel a little better, because otherwise sometimes you'll, you know.
See, we always talk about movies. We also give helpful advice.
Yeah, super sharing in a support group can be hard for folks, and especially if you're admitting things like you're relational, and if you need to be touched, if you really want to be touched, and nobody, and if you are if the narcissist in your life is also the president or wants to be the president, and he's sleeping with a woman named Loomer now, what are you going to do? I mean, I think Melania probably needs to go to a self-help group at this point, and she should bring her tissue and drink her coffee.
Mm.
Just help the situation, because everybody knows that Dracula and Donald are the same. They both put their name on buildings that already existed, and they both wanted world domination. I'm right. But anyway.
That's true. So, I think we've come to the part now where we say, what you gonna give it out of 10?
10. 10 arms used to pierce, pin somebody to a door out of 10.
Cool. I'm gonna give it 10 extracted fangs out of 10.
Oh my gosh, that scene.
But you can't have my teeth.
You can't kill my teeth. Oh my gosh. I tried.
But yeah, I'll tell you guys out there, it's a great movie. It's a fun watch, gory at times, still fun. It's a shame it wasn't a big box office hit, but please, if you can get hold of it, or as we've said about streaming, Renfield. It's called Renfield.
It's on Peacock, NBC Peacock.
Yeah, please, you guys out there, watch it. If you have seen it, leave a message below and let us know what you thought of it. This video gets shared on every platform we're on. Facebook, X, YouTube, all that. So you'll find us all over the place. So just leave a message below the video, and if you want to join us as well, leave a message below where you found the video. Just be 18 plus if you want to join us, because as I say, we discuss movies what are a bit gory and stuff like that, and so 18 plus. All you need is a device what's got a camera and a microphone, and we can have you on. Join us on here, or join our group, and we chat movies, we chat audio dramas, TV things. So I think that's it. Oh, also as well, let's see if it works again, shall we? If you do subscribe to our YouTube channel, please press the bell notification button. It worked! Now, Susan, you're going to have to watch these back, won't you? See, it comes across.
It's just surprising.
So, yeah, press that notification button and you'll get notified every time I put a video. And that is it, I think, isn't it, Susan?
Two times a week we put stuff out.
Yeah, well, when I remember, or when Susan remembers to put it in the drive.
Put it in the drive.
Yeah, but it's my responsibility today, so it'll be most will be up by Tuesday. So that is us done for today. I am now going to go to the blood bank, and I'm going to see what I can get there. So until next time, please be safe, look after yourself, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.